Happy Saturday and welcome to the Ramashram Satsang Weekend Workshop, where you will learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Shivangi and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I would like to give you a brief overview to this Satsang session. If you'll direct your attention to the screen, you will see that the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in our lives. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin this practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of satsang. When we meditate, our consciousness is drawn from worldly objects and directed inward to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, leading us to higher states of consciousness such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of satsangs, inner satsang and outer satsang. An example of outer satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior. But it is only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. This is the type of satsang we will learn today, where we meditate in silence. Group sessions. These weekend workshops are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these weekend workshops, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul, but it is only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy that we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The agenda for today's session consists of three parts: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a satsang topic, our founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, instructions on how to meditate will be given, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you will have the opportunity to ask questions or there will be a panel discussion. And now, I would like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of satsang experience. He is the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ramashram Satsang Mathura. He was born into a satsang family where he has witnessed his family members obtaining states of enlightenment and live lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating satsangs. During that time, he witnessed the positive effects that satsang could have on mankind. Upon arriving in the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate satsangs for local satsangis. He has led teams of satsang members in translating important satsang literature into English and has worked tirelessly to make satsang more accessible to Western and English speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England facilitating satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will teach us a rare and ancient form of satsang as taught by our Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji and his daughter Parul.
So Parul, you want to talk about the topic? Parul, are you on or?
Yeah, I'm on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh. Okay, well, hi everybody. Thanks for coming to our Saturday session. I'm going to start with our topic and then Dad will get into the meditation. So today I was actually really thinking about daily routines and how obviously, especially in satsang, like our daily routine is really shaping a lot of the effect of what we're doing in meditation. And so I was thinking about the present moment, tapping into the present moment more, and how tapping into the present moment in a way that feels magical daily is really important. So this could mean going for a walk outside, in Chintan, remembering the guru, remembering the light, watching a philosophical show that really makes you think a bit more deeply instead of the news. We're in a really chaotic time, so staying grounded should be a really high priority, both spiritually and in our daily lives. So having our daily meditations as anchor points is often just one piece of the puzzle. We can also write intuitively, eat intuitively, consume intuitively, rather than just going through the motions and letting the day dictate us. Instead, we can sometimes get in the driver's seat of where our energy is coming from and where our energy is going consciously. So take the energy of your meditation into your day, have conscious conversations. Maybe you end the day with a reflective walk outside, remembering the light, connecting with the light, and being one with the light. We don't always have to just sit down and meditate. We can bring that meditative state into many areas of our life. So maybe you're recharging by infusing your drinking water with light and allowing it to seep into all of your cells and cleanse your vessel with higher energy. Maybe you're sitting in silence for a bit and you're journaling or reading a book that's good for your mind and your soul. Not everyone's way to come back to our center will look exactly the same. So it's one thing to sit here and meditate, but it's another to transform your days in a way that you start to see this light in everything and everyone. The world will change and your inner world will change too, hopefully in a grounded way, but a magical one if you continue to see life as a spiritual reflection. Bring higher consciousness into every moment. As we continue to meditate, our behaviors change, our energy changes, and our daily routine can change as well. Because these small tweaks are actually what makes the biggest difference. So that's just something that was on my mind as, it's a crazy time. Every time you turn on the news, it's something new. So we have to remember to come back to being grounded, coming back to our heart, coming back to the present moment. And that's it. So I'm going to pass it on to Dad. That's my food for thought.
Thank you, Shivangi and Parul. As you can see, I'm sitting in my basement where it was a whole room full last weekend on Guru Purnima. So still absorbing that energy. It was phenomenal. Very, very, kind of words leave me when I try to describe some of this. Hopefully, we'll have a get together of our own soon. Still working on that. So any thoughts and any ways in which we can expedite that? Let's work together on that. And yeah, the whole thought about, let's get us grounded in positive energy. So let's do that first, and then we'll talk more about the topic. So, yeah, let's sit in a relaxed posture, eyes lightly closed, and think of this transcendental energy. Feel that presence, feel the presence of transcendental energy in form of light right here, right now, in front of us, and that light is entering our heart and illuminating, enlightening the heart, and then from there distributing throughout the body. So we are completely getting immersed in this light. So Basically, for the entire time of meditation, we just need to stay on one thought, which is very hard because the mind keeps moving from one thought to another. So it's not only inward orientation to focus inwards, but it's also concentration. So inward orientation and concentration, as we were, um, you know, discussing through the overview, uh, are parts of it, and then we go deep into this silent meditation. So to get inward orientation right, we close our eyes because sensory input, distracts us. Sit in a relaxed and still posture because that's very important for concentration. And then from multitude of thoughts, which is normal, natural to us, but to get into concentrated mode for the mind, we first leave the multitude of thoughts to come to one thought. And then we'll drop that too. That would be a deep, deep meditation. So the one thought is just observation of this transcendental energy in form of light, that we're surrounded by it. It's right here, right in front of us, and it's entering our heart, you know. So the heart is filling up with this transcendental light, and then it's distributing throughout the body. So we are becoming that light. So mind will wander away, bring it back to just this thought and this thought alone, that we are in presence of this transcendental energy in form of light, that light is entering our heart and then distributing throughout the body, and we're getting completely, totally immersed in this light. To transition in, we start with music. Music also helps concentration. Then music fades away and we go deep into silent meditation. And then we transition out again with music. So we'll start now. Happy Saturday, everyone. Um, glad that we are here in Satsang. So, Parul, you can take it away with the topic. During the conversation, I would love to go back to the topic from last week as well. So, we'll see.
What was last week?
That was the conscious mind and unconscious mind, the ant versus the elephant.
Oh, right. That was a question, right? That came in.
Oh, yes. Let me see.
Well, if anybody wants to come on, feel free.
So, one of the questions from last week was how can we have clarity of thoughts if there are so many thoughts in mind which stop us from making right decisions and also being confused about which decision is right or not? So, you know, um, in the Indian scriptures, there is a line, Bin Satsang Vivek na hoi. Vivek is the discretionary capability, the discretionary power to decide from right from wrong. And, this statement says that you need satsang to get to that. And basically, until and unless you get grounded in, so conscious mind versus unconscious mind is like, you conscious mind makes, conscious decisions, but most of our beliefs, habits, and you know things that kind of reflex actions that just happen, live in the bigger part of our brain. And um, so, how do we reprogram our unconscious mind is the key. um, and when you meditate, when you are uh, you know mindful, when you even stop to think, when you count to 10, when you take a walk, uh, you know different parts of the brain get in action rather than just the fight or flight, or you know quick uh, decisioning mode, which not necessarily is the right decision. So, one, we need to step back and kind of re-engage with the question or decision. So the more grounded part of our mind gets engaged. But then how do you reprogram that? Because there are lots of things in there which are not necessarily, you know, uh, helping our overall wellness. So to do that, you need to gain inner strength that can come through meditation. You can also, um, that inner strength, then you can apply towards overriding some of the uh, knee jerk reactions, or learned behavior, which is not necessarily the right behavior. So I'll pause there. Hi, Christy. How are you? Ajita.
Hello. Hi. I feel like it's been so long. I'm sorry. I think it's 3 weeks. It's just busy summer. So many guests coming, but I have been practicing the satsang every day. And today I found it quite hard to just get into and just have a blank mind. which I was surprised at. Instead, I had a visualization of a path with lots of golden light, and I was just walking along the path. And the further along I got, the more into the golden light I got. And then I just kind of merged in with the light and I managed it. So I think it just needed a little bit of getting into and breath work. But once I got into the light, I just felt uh, whole, um, light inside me. It was just, I don't know, it felt magical. And it's something that I've been trying so hard to do every day so that it seeps into my daytime, like what Parul was speaking about, making these moments every day of how we feel in meditation. And it is just practice, but once you get there, it really does make a difference on the day, how you think, how you react to things, and how you affect others as well. So it's just, I think, about spreading that light to other people, even when they don't understand that's what you're doing. It's interesting seeing how they can pick up on energy and they'll leave you with a smile, which to me is really important. So yeah, just thank you, because I don't think I was at this mindset when I started back in January. And yeah, so I just have you guys to thank for that. And Parul, all the stuff that you make us think about every week, it does carry into my week, which is really good because it just gets you thinking every day um, about how we should be focusing on these things and changing our attitude. So yeah, thank you both.
Yeah, what you just described about the light was, sounded magical to me. Um, but I always, whenever we think about these quote unquote visualizations, while they're great, I mean, no doubt, um, but I always give a forewarning, because Guru Maharaj always did that, you know, all of that is great, but there are things ahead. So let's not get caught up in, uh, even the good experiences, because the journey continues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I think that's why I'm glad it was just to start me off. It was literally for a few minutes. And I knew that I don't know if you call it ego, the visualizations, or your brain just trying to interject, but it got me into it. So yeah, I
No,
understand.
it's all good, because because a lot of people I talk to, they go through nightmares. So this is phenomenally better than any of that, right? So this is even better than positive thoughts, because thoughts are at a lower level. You're experiencing this is slightly higher, because it's further beyond the words, and so it becomes a deeper experience. And when these things come and stay for longer, they become higher awareness. So um, and there are so many nuances to that, but overall very positive. But you know let's just continue the journey, because what happens is that if I get very attached to a good meditation, then what happens when I have that day when my meditation is not so good, right? I do meditation, or Guru Maharaj's prescription was, just do it as a duty, do it as an integral part of your lifestyle, integral part of your daily routine, because it will just continue to uplift you. And that is important. Sometimes you feel very good, sometimes not so good, sometimes it's very dark. but you have to cut through all of that because the journey continues through those phases.
It does. Thank you.
You look stunning today, by the way. I love
Thank you.
it.
Thanks. I'm doing a live stream later, so I thought I'd make an effort.
It looks great. I love the makeup and the hair.
And
Thank
what's the
you.
live stream about?
Teaching guided visualizations, breathing techniques, all that stuff. I do it every Saturday after.
Wow.
Trying to spread the light.
I love it. And it's always
Thank you.
you. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been about 3 months now, and
Wow.
it's slowly building.
Yeah, yeah.
But because I've had 2 weeks off, I feel a bit bad. So, but hopefully, even after I record it for YouTube, so if people miss it, at least they can catch up when they feel they need it. So
Amazing.
I tried to give like life coaching a bit, some guidance, kind of what you do, but just a bit more like write micro goals to reach your dream, try every day to meditate, all that stuff. And then I'll do the guided journey just to try to help them get there a bit.
Okay, nice. So
Yeah.
more along like manifestation a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Thank you. It just helps people who are more beginners, I think, and
Yeah,
people who aren't spiritual find their way onto a path.
yeah.
So
And
I
there's so
just,
many avenues like mindset,
yeah,
energy, all the things.
exactly. And that idea actually came to me while I was on this live
Oh,
a
no.
while ago. It just came to me in the middle of when the music came on after I silent meditation. That came to me, and I was like, okay, this makes sense to what I was wanting to do. So I
Oh,
followed that, and it's just gone really well.
I love it. You're like
Yay!
intuitively going.
Yeah, exactly. So good things come from practicing every day,
Yeah.
Yep.
and then you can just spread it to other people. But it just makes a difference on your own life. But like you were saying, Sanjeev, some days meditation, you're too tired, you don't feel well, you don't want to do it. But if you make yourself, you have to do it as part of your day, morning or evening or both. It gets you into that, I don't know, I say the word routine again, and then it doesn't feel like routine. It feels like something you look forward to doing,
Yeah.
especially
Yep.
when you connect to the light. It's just it's incredible.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It
that's what I was
really is.
saying, like, bringing the energy into your day. It's not like we're gonna get that energy like from the
No.
morning, but we can like consciously be like, okay, let me think about it during my water break. Let me think
Hmm.
about it, and then you'll naturally, it's just like, oh, I'm like in that energy. It just
Yeah.
happens naturally.
Yeah, I mean, I even say to people, even when you're washing the dishes or vacuuming, take deep breaths and breathe in the light. And it's just a few moments in your day, but
Yeah,
it really, yeah, you're still connecting. And
yeah.
yeah, then you have no excuse to say, oh, I didn't have time or I'm too tired. Just bring it into your day.
Yeah, even if you have to skip it like a day or two, you can do that. But I
Yeah.
think like the original charge up in the morning can like
Mm,
sprinkle down naturally, and then it just becomes even more powerful over time. You're just like, don't even think, it's just there. So
exactly. I'll stop talking now. Sorry, everyone.
no, we love
3 weeks.
it. We miss
I
you.
have to catch up.
Nobody's been coming on without you here, literally.
Oh no. Come on, guys, share. I've just shared everything.
No, you
I'm gonna
always
zip now.
do it. No, we love it.
Love you guys.
I
I
um
yeah.
I have a question, if I may.
Sure.
I've very recently only joined the satsang, and I have to say, um, I am a spiritual person by nature, but I think last 2 weeks, I think from Guru Purnima, that's the first time I started doing meditation morning, evening, and I feel really nice. Of course, I'm still a novice, very early in the stage. But my question is, how do we know? And probably it's too early to ask, but sooner the better. How do we know we are practicing satsang the right way, the correct way, um, and
So
truly for the spirit of satsang and nothing else?
and you can have the video on if you like. I don't know why everybody is so shy of.
I'm not shy. I have to tell you, I'm not camera shy ever. Let me just do that. I'm technically challenged. Probably something is wrong with what I'm trying to do here. I don't know if
No,
it's
no.
on now or not. I don't know. I'll
It,
figure it out. But
you
um,
you were on earlier, so
I
something.
think now it should work.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not probably my best putting
No,
my
that
best
yeah.
face forward, but
That's why. Yeah, that's why I don't insist. But when see, the thing is, just to tackle that one first. If you were to come to meet me, or we were meeting as a group, there would be no video on or off, right? It's
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and and uh, believe it or not, I mean, I can cite so many uh, research studies that it's less words in 30 seconds of meeting someone, the gestures, and just you know uh, you exchange so much. um, so that's a topic for another day, but um, you did ask, so am I on the right track? um, so first thing is that you know, and I'm saying it very, very lightly, is like, that's why I'm here. But um, so yes, instructions are important. Following the instructions are important. Um, Routine is important. Creating a habit takes, somewhere around 3+ weeks. So if you keep doing something, then it becomes more integral to, and it becomes more reflex action slash habits as ever. What might help is, you know, following it properly and following the instructions properly, but also taking, uh, if you start to set aside a time and place. So because we are creatures of habit, so if we have a specific place and a specific time, and I'm telling you, I have felt this, like if you meditate on a chair or in a room, or, um, you know, someplace, few weeks later, you will see it. You sit there and your state will change. And it is because, one, internally you kind of switch modes, but two, that place also gets charged. um, so okay, so that's one part. But then how do we see, if we were doing all of that, how do we see we are on the right track? And that's a very hard question, because it kind of relates to what we were discussing earlier. Our job is to meditate more regularly, daily half hour in the morning, evening, possibly weekly, a group session, in person, helps tremendously, which we need to get to at some point. Somehow, distances will matter, but I do travel a lot, um, because of that. But so coming back to, there are two. So one my grandfather talked about, and one my eldest uncle talked about, his, um, you know, um, Guru Maharaj's eldest son, Dr. Brajen Kumarji. So first is that your inner happiness should start increasing. Now, what is inner happiness? Inner happiness is the level set of how you feel when there is no up or down, or, hey, this happened, so I'm so happy, or that happened, I'm so sad. So when I settle down, what is my level of happiness? If that is increasing, then I'm doing the right thing. So happiness, which is not connected to physical possessions or power plays or promotions or etc., 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 just right now, if I'm not thinking about any of that, how do I feel? Right? And when all of that settles, how do I feel? So that level, so that you know if that level starts increasing further and further up, so people start, I mean, literally, like when I smile for no reason, people say, are you okay? Right? And I'm like, um, yeah. So if I feel happy without any reason, people will say, is something wrong with you? And that is when you know that you are you are doing well in your meditation. So that's one way to measure if anything, any mindfulness, meditation, any vertical growth approach that you're taking in your life is working or not. All right. The second one that my uncle talked about was, is your behavior getting better? Right? If your behavior is not getting better, you might be getting even vertically higher. So as I was growing up, off and on in India, you will get, yogis at your door. Now, those yogis had some mental powers, but their angers were out of control. Ego was way out of the wazoo. And Guru Maharaj's view was that that's not spiritual growth. That is just a willpower based mental growth, mental capabilities that could even, you could see in the future, you could read somebody's mind, and all of that he has described at length that you can do it too. But that's not spiritual growth. Spiritual, or, are you becoming a better human being? If that's happening, then you are getting to a higher ground. If you're getting to a higher ground, there is vertical growth. And if there is vertical growth, we're good. We are in the right direction. But it's a journey. So you will not feel the same all the time. If you were an angry person, like even my father, who as a young person was, an angry young man to some degree. I mean, not, it's all relative, but relative to what he became in his later years, where, people started calling him Prem Murthy, which is, you know, um, an incarnate of selfless love, right? Because he would travel in, I mean, I'm telling you, like for his age and the conditions of those travels, he would go to villages, meet people, talk to them about their troubles, and so on, so on, so on. It's every years. I mean, I remember asking him, like, why do you take this much effort? So he says, like, I go to meet people who can't come and meet me, because a lot of people used to come to see him. So, uh, you know, it's like somebody mentioned that I have seen the making of a saint, like basically how your behavior just continuously, you know, change to a point where me becomes, completely selfless, unconditional love, to a point where give is all you have, because you are not taking anything with you. So why not give it away? Right? But that's not the normal mindset.
Thank you. I had a second question, but halfway through you already answered that. So I really, really appreciate. Thank you so much.
Sure thing. So what was the other question, just for the sake of others?
So that now I think your answer was better than my question. You framed the answer way better than my actual question. But the part that you said, there are two kinds of growth. One is the vertical growth, when you're actually increasing your willpower through meditation and you're so immersed that you know that your willpower is growing, wherein external factors essentially are not impacting you. But the other part of it is your behavior improving. So it's not just the one, it's both. So the second part was actually my question, that how is it adding value? How do I know I'm growing? How do I know I'm evolving? So you've sort of given that, like I said, your answer is more beautiful than my question, but thank you.
Where are you?
I'm in London, and this beautiful woman here, Meenakshi, I have to say, I've connected 2 weeks ago with her, and she's an angel. I could just feel the vibration. I feel really blessed. I joined the satsang. I did go to Mathura as well a month ago, where where the Ramashram satsang, the space is. But I live in London, so I was very lucky to attend the first satsang this month, sorry, at Meenakshi's place. Yeah, I'm based in London, so I look forward to continue being a part of this.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to satsang in London in person somehow.
Okay.
Somewhere. We'll see. There are
We'll be blessed. Yeah.
There are quite a few people here from UK. So.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sure thing. Yeah, nice to have you here. And
thank you.
And Ajita is not too far away, right? So yeah, it's actually Vivek from Stuttgart also joined us here in Northern Virginia last week. So yeah.
Thank you.
Can I just
Apparently,
say,
distances don't matter.
sorry, I was just going to say, Ajita, you look so beautiful under that tree.
Do I? Thank you.
Yeah, you do. The energy of the tree and your hair in the wind, it's so pretty.
No, thank you.
It's okay.
I think it's just all just soaking in the light wherever you're sat. You just absorb it and you feel nice. And that probably reflects in how you look.
Yeah, Anita, I always think about doing that, sitting outside with the birds chirping. And we have so many birds around here for some reason that you can literally hear them on the phone. And, sometimes it's like, where are you?
I am just in the park, and the main reason I'm outside is because I needed my boy to sleep, and it's best done outdoors.
Awesome. Wow.
Maybe I can just share one thing that I just have started doing, and I don't know why I do this, but it just came from inside, that when I'm getting into a meeting where I'm not confident of how things are going to go, as it's going to be a meeting with conflicts, then I just imagine light in my heart and that it's spreading in the room, and it's also in the heart of the participants of the meeting. And I have noticed that every time I do something like that, then the meetings are they run so smoothly and the outcomes are really nice. So it's just a reflection, and it just happened that I started doing it, and then at one point I realized, okay, this is my trick.
Yeah, I think Dad talks about that often, how you want to influence the room. I love that. or even just like wrapping everyone in the room in light before you go in, stuff like that.
I really use that trick and that helps.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, there was a question recently, and it's not exactly the same, but you know, if you have like, sometimes we have people who are very negative and affecting you so much. So Guru Maharaj has, documented that uh, at times, and this was a very different context, but he said that I would put this energy shield between the two of us. And Guru Maharaj always used to, for him, the entire energy source and definition of God and everything was in his guru. So basically, he would just put his guru in the middle and say, "You deal with this." I'm just, so if he is in the middle, then he is dealing with the positive only, and all the negative is absorbed by that shield. So interesting tweaks. So Liz, Steve, Paula, Jeff, or things.
Happy Saturday, everyone. As always, it's wonderful to meditate with you all and to hear all of your beautiful insights. And the one thing that resonated with me a little bit is something that I think Sanjeev was talking about in terms of, I think it was in response to a question like, how do we gain clarity? I definitely think that when I meditate, it definitely like quiets the mind. Like, if let's say you're going through anxiety that day, or even if it's like the happy stuff, like the dopamine, and you want to settle it down, sitting down and meditating really does regulate your body. It has like an actual impact on your body. And it can actually last the day. It does actually the set the framework for the day. So I at least I've found that to be true. So I just wanted to say that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think the energy can build up over time, but then once you have the like morning charge up, then that just like seeps in through the day the more you do it. But yeah, that was great. Thanks. Always good to see you too. Thanks for coming.
Always good to see you guys.
Apurvati, do you want to come on? You've been on the camera today.
Namaskar.
Yeah. Everybody who is on the camera, yeah.
Call out. Paula, it's good to see you. Rajat Bhaiya, good to see you.
Steve is on.
Oh yeah, Steve.
Hello. Starting to tap into some good energy. Been in a good flow in the summertime. Routine is pretty much the same. I get up and I CrossFit for an hour. I come home and walk exactly 1 mile. I have a route I walk on the sidewalk. I use my Apple Watch to chart it out. It's exactly 1 mile. And then I've been doing some landscaping. And I try to just do it incrementally. I'm doing like 2 pavers a day because I'm picking up the rock and washing out the rock. And it's just tedious, dirty work. But I feel like it's also like symbolic of how growth should work. It doesn't just happen in a vacuum where you make these great leaps. It's just being around good people and learning from them, and like just incrementally trying to grow every day. So it's kind of just been a little outlet too, where I can just sit and ponder. So it's a good flow. And I was thinking, I was reading some wellness articles, and they talked about the importance of immersive experiences. So with immersive experiences, it's you're celebrating someone else's success. You're getting involved in community projects that will benefit other people. You're spending time with a pet, because pets are essentially just loving and unconditional. But just when we do immersive things, it does two things in the brain. It releases oxytocin, which builds trust in relationships, and also your endorphins, which help us with motivation and positive energy. So um,
So I'll record this, Steve, and use it for our eventually upcoming immersive weekend.
Okay. Yeah. Another immersive thing, right? You're just in community. So like on Monday with our CrossFit group, we occasionally we do these hero WOD workouts, which are they're physically very rigorous. And it was the anniversary of a police officer who was shot in the line of duty. And that was, so on Monday we did that, and then on Wednesday, instead of working out, we just decided we would all get together and just eat breakfast instead of doing something physical. And it was just really, it was something we've never done, but it just built. I think we usually have 16 people in our class, 16 to 20 people in our class at that early time slot, and I think like 14 of them were able to show up. It was just good to connect and talk about life, and it really built a sense of community too. So I've enjoyed today, because I've heard from a lot of people that I typically haven't heard from, but they're all just beautiful in their own way. Sitting under a tree in the backyard so you don't wake up your child, that was beautiful.
So true. Yeah.
CrossFit and a 1 mile walk. I am taking notes. And then landscaping. That is wild.
No,
it's a summer teacher, though. You have the time, so I just enjoy it while I can. So
yeah, that sounds amazing.
And what it reminded me of, I actually was listening to a TED talk by a person who had a near-death experience, and after that he climbed multiple mountains, including Mount Everest. I think Portland, Oregon, person, and he was like, he was talking about when you are going to a peak, sometimes when you're like, it really gets very hard, just what you described, like, take one paper at a time. He was describing take one step at a time. And sometimes those steps add up. So he was talking about like mindset and growth and, life. And it is one step at a time. When it gets really hard, just, don't think about the whole mile, just one step at a time.
Can I just jump in? I love that. That is so very relevant for so many different areas of life. And just to connect that with what Steve was talking about in community, like if one is going through a difficult time, taking it one step at a time is good. And also just really relishing in whatever community you have available to you. It could be wonderful colleagues at work. Like yesterday, I went out with several colleagues and it was just so joyful. I mean, we're all going through some it's like dark times at work, but you forget about that like for a few minutes when you're with really great people who bring really good energy and they're present. but both of those like things, and then of course the backdrop of meditation daily if possible, multiple times a day if possible, is a good ingredient for a good life. Good ingredients.
Totally. Couldn't agree more. Immersive experience. That's, yeah, a good definition of that. I'll take that. So Priya, were you saying something?
No, I'm good. I will have more questions as I progress in this journey, but for now I'm good. Thanks, Sanjeev. So.
Right. On that note, great meditation, great discussion. This community is really coming together. That I think and distances wise, we'll have to figure out. But I think I am thinking more about in person, and we'll see if we can create more opportunities to do that. On that note, have a great week ahead. See you all soon, very soon, and love, light, and peace be with you. Paula, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Happy Saturday. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Namaste, Bhaiya. Namaste, Paul. Bye, everyone.
Namaste. Bhanubhaiya, is he here?
Hello. Namaste, Bhaiya. Everyone.
Jet, Mahima ji, Poonam ji, Nini, Priya. Right. You all soon, Apurva. I know. Thanks, everyone.
Namaskar ji.
Namaste.
All right. Have a good weekend.